Let's change the music. Huh. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's start this. So, hello everyone. How are you doing? Well, hello you. It's just you and me right now. So let's see what I'm going to do with these shots today. Yeah, I think I will finish a few ones to upload them on Instagram, and let's see how it goes. I will use mostly 1 or 2 presets because it should fit the actual style I'm using, but maybe if I do some changes, or maybe I will create another preset. Don't know. But I think I will just start right now. Okay. Huh. Doesn't work. That's better, but not good enough. Yeah, maybe that way. Let's try that. It's too bright. Okay, let's darken this shot minus 64, okay. Still too bright on some areas. So what I'm gonna do is first I use the preset on here, but it works in colors, but it doesn't work in brightness and contrast too much, so I will do some smaller adjustments on it. I think this will work now. So brighten up this area a little bit. Well, let's try it different. Bring up some highlight here from the top. So I'm drawing a big radial filter on it. And let's see how this works out. Hopefully good. Come on, mouse. Yes, it does. But maybe it's too bright. Okay, let's try this. This could work out in the end. It's still too bright here on the lower area in the image, so I will darken that too. Because if I wouldn't darken this area, it would be distracting, and I don't want to be distracted by looking at the image and my eyes are always jumping to this bright area because it's like, hey, I'm a bright area, look. I don't want that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. So before and after. So we are getting somewhere, but we are not there yet. I'll make this a little bit smaller. But if I make this even brighter, this doesn't look good. This works for me, but what I don't like is this area here. It's a little bit too bright. Where is the dot? There it is. So let's see what we can do with this. You can also lower the saturation of your mask by first click your radial filter. Just for showing you this, press Alt on your keyboard or Option on Mac, and then first click brush, and then in the lower bottom here in this section you get your tools like size, feather, flow and auto mask. What we are going to do here is we are using flow. This decreases the intensity of our eraser tool. So by pressing Alt or Option you get into the eraser tool, and by decreasing flow we erase the mask slightly, but not completely. So this will give us a little bit less of a highlighted area here, like, because that's too much. It's so distracting from the whole image. I will try to lower this a little bit. So let's see. I turn on auto mask for this because I just want to lower the whites in here. And the more you paint, the more of the mask will be erased. So just doing this very quick here. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, it's less distracting now. Also here on the right side. Or let's see, because this looks kind of weird. I think I will crop this. Yeah, that's better. Maybe not that much. By pressing L on your keyboard while you are in crop mode, you can disable your background. So pressing once, it's almost black. Pressing twice, it's completely black, and you are only left with your selection. So what I'm gonna do here is I wanna bring the frame to somewhere to cut in here, because this little piece here is kinda distracting to me if I look at the image. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. This somewhere around there, and a slight turn. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, this works for me. So what I'm doing next is I'm always double checking the brightness of my image with changing the background color. So first turn it to white. If it's white, you can clearly see is your image too dark. Of course, it always depends on what kind of look you want to create, but mostly I do it anyways. Just checking, is it too bright or is it too dark? In this case, I think it's fine, because I have more bright areas on the top. It gets darker at the lower side, so yeah, I'm okay with that. So let's check it on black, and all you have to do is just click with your right mouse button, go down, click on black, and the background is black, and it also looks very good to me on a black background. And if the settings are correct, nothing should be the same color as the background, because if it is, some areas are completely black. So that's a smart way to check your image, if is it bright enough or not, because if you're looking the whole time on your image, you don't know it. So that's a nice proof for yourself. I do it always, or mostly. Okay, so let's check this. Back and forth. Yeah, we got some blues, maybe the greens. A little bit too shiny for me. Put them back here. Yeah, that's better. And boom, the first image is done, in my opinion. Yeah, I like it that way. Nice. So that's the image we created in the last stream I've made. The preset is still available for download. Link is in my Instagram description, in my bio, you can find it there. So if you want it, it's free. Download it and use it. I recommend it for rainy days. Not sure if it works on a sunny day. Haven't tried it yet, so this preset was just created for some rainy days. So let's jump over to the next one. I kinda like that. But what I don't like is this thing on top. I was in on 200 mils. This shot would have been better with this whole thing in the frame. But I think I got one. Yeah. I prefer this one. Because you get a little bit of a better feel to the whole scene. There's a tram, there's a bus, people around there, so there's stuff going on in the shot. So let's see which kind of preset I will use. And as I mentioned before, that's a preset, so that's the preset from the stream. And that's a preset I made on my own a couple of weeks ago. And that's also a preset for rainy days. Not for a sunny day. This works best on rainy days or overcast days. I think I will use it on this one, yeah. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, putting my preset on it of course, but a preset is always a starting point, nothing you should use and say it's done. Okay, sometimes you have a shot, maybe 2 times, 3 times, where you put it on and you're okay, it's done, looks perfect, and you're good to go, but mostly you should do some slight adjustments just to make things a little bit more, or make things look better in your shot. So first of all, I'm gonna crop it again. Let's see. Maybe or up here. Okay, this is better because I have a little bit more room up here and the image has some space to breathe because there is a lot of going on. Yeah, let's do it that way. Yeah. So, first thing I notice is there is somehow some kind of a halo effect around my subject. So around her at this area. How you're gonna fix that? Just draw a radial filter over her, or over your subject. Don't deselect it, like I did. And then move your highlights. Yeah, as you can see, the halo is gone. Maybe the colors are not correct yet, but I don't care too much. Let's see. Let's invert that. Yeah. It's getting better. This golden color, it pops so heavy. Maybe I will desaturate it just a little bit, because... or not? Let's see what we can do. Yeah. Minus 20. Yeah. Fits quite good. So I'm brushing this back to normal. Also the surroundings. Okay. And I'm already pretty happy with this shot. So what I don't like is this bright front area here. And also the music. Free music sucks. So I drag another radial filter and now I'm working only on the subject itself. So let's bring up the shadows a bit. Also the overall exposure, because she's wearing black and it's kinda losing its interest if you look at the image, because that's quite interesting if I look at this. But she's kinda lost in this image, so it's not the best shot, but not the worst either. Sorry. Yeah, I like that. Now I'm duplicating this one An old technique. Inverting this. I'm bringing up the exposure just a little bit again. Because we're still very good with the top. I can't even see where it's burned out. Question is, should I crop the image? No. No. And again here, I take out the greens. Yeah. The reds a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with this one. Ooh. That's not bad. Okay. I think I will use my stream preset on this one from the last time because I like this faded look on this image. It already has some sort of a dreamy effect on the left side because I've shot this with on 200mm through a glass, through a piece of glass. And this gave me this nice effect here on the left. And a very soft fade to the subject itself. So I will go with this one, and first of all, I always do this right at the beginning. I put in radial filters or graduated filters, bring down some of the brighter areas, bring back some darker areas, and work from there. And I always zoom out quite a bit for this process. Because mostly you will drag your radial filters outside. Like this one. Let's see, maybe there. This could work. Now I'm brightening up my image from top, just to get the highlights of those people. Maybe a little bit down. For this shot, I will bring my clarity down here to get in some glow, because this shot already has some sort of a glow in it, so I will enhance this a little bit more. And that's already a pretty good one. I like this. Maybe a little bit darker. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. And it's a very simple shot, but I like it. I don't know why, but I really like this shot. I mean, it's not a bad shot. I mean, it's a normal shot, but with the preset and just some small edits, this looks really good. So let's see how I can crop this shot to get the most out of it. Maybe up there. Yeah, that's better because I get this line to start at the corner and the people are mostly on the second third. This works out. And it's almost straight, almost. Yeah, I like that. I would say this shot is almost done. I'll just do some sharpening here. And I'm not doing this with the sharpen tool itself, I'm doing this with texture. Works good. Okay, let's do a little bit of sharpening for the whole image, but just a little bit. Okay. No, I'm not sure, should I sharpen the image or not? So by pressing Alt on your keyboard, your image will turn black and white. And as you know, if you mask something, black is always hiding all the stuff, and white reveals it. So white reveals, black conceals. It's just that simple. And if you use this for the sharpening mask, just press Alt or Option on your keyboard, Option if you're using a Mac, and drag this to the right. And everything that is white is getting sharpened, everything that is black, not. So I drag this fairly far to the right, because I only want to get the subject to be sharpened and not the whole image. Because if you do this to the whole image, you will get quickly some grain into it on areas like this. So, I mean, I'm not using the best camera in the world, but it has already some sort of grain in it. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm working on a 4K screen. I already see it. Maybe on YouTube you can't see it, but you would see that if I upload it. So I'm not doing that. But what I'm doing, I drag this somewhere around 85, pressing Alt and bringing up my mask somewhere to 90. Yeah, you can see clearly. I'm not doing too much of sharpening in my shots, or almost nothing, but in this shot It needed just a little bit of sharpening. So 1 second.
Your voice echoes in my mind.
Just a second, I have to respond quickly.
Your voice echoes in my mind.
So, sorry. Next one. So this shot is done. I already forgot to export this one, so let's jump quickly back. Wait, I haven't seen that. That's an umbrella with a blue sky and clouds. That's nice. I like that. So, a quick export. Export settings. I don't change anything here. So some people say use a JPEG with, I don't know, 73% of quality would give the best image quality on Instagram. I'm not sure about that. So why is this on 60? What? I've never... Okay. No. I take 100% all the time, not 60. I'm not sure why it was on 60, but 100% and okay. This should be on 72. Okay, I made an update before I started this one today. Maybe it's because of that. Thank God I checked it. So you don't need anything that more than 72 pixels per inch if you're uploading online or for a screen. That's perfect. But if you're uploading on a, or if you're exporting for a print, it should be at least 240. But for screens, 72, you're fine. So that's all good. Let's export this one. Also export this one. Yeah. So, export. Okay. And this shot. Already 3 shots. That's good. That's not too bad. I'm a little bit slow today because I'm so tired. I had a long week already. So I was working every day 2 hours extra, so it's kinda exhausting. But daddy needs some money, right? That's why. That's not an interesting shot. Maybe I can pull something off, but no. Let's see. Doesn't look good, not good. Maybe with some. Let's see. Also get some weird artifacts with this edit. Putting this down. That's probably because of the color editing. If I use this. No. Maybe this side. No, don't like it. Reset. And 1 star. Goodbye. Also this, oh sorry. Reset this at 1 star. No. Okay, she looks quite happy. Or something like, nah, I don't like this one. So let's jump to the next one. Oh. This could be a black and white shot. I'm not sure if colors are working good on this one, but I think that's more a black and white shot. Let's see from my current presets. So I'm not using those, they are my old ones. They are more for summer. Yeah, mostly for summer. I created them only on summer shots, mostly on sunny days and not on rainy days. I think this one was just created on a rainy day, but most of them are made for sunny days. And they have less contrast in it, so the current preset pack I'm working on is much more on contrast and more on colors. I mean, it's not bad, but how about using this and changing it to black and white? What will happen? Let's see. Okay. It's actually not too bad. But I'm not good at black and white editing, so I don't do that. Oh, that's a nice one. I really like that. Okay, let's crop it first. Let's see what I can get out of a crop with this image. So my idea is now bringing this in like that. Yeah, I like that. Hey Tyler, what's up? How you doing? This is Adobe Lightroom. Just some photo editing software. I think I forgot to put the link inside my video description. But if you Google it, Adobe Lightroom, you can find it online. You can get it for a subscription, I think. A few years ago you had the possibility to buy it for a few bucks, but now they changed their program to sell things, and yeah, now we have to pay monthly. Pooh. Adobe Illustrator. The last time I worked with this tool was about, let me think, 4 years ago. I worked there as a graphic designer, but just ask, maybe I can answer your question. If not, I'm sorry. But just let me know. Maybe I can help you, but no guarantee. let's take this. And what kind of preset? Oh, I like that. I already liked it a lot. Okay, so that's again the preset I've made in the last live stream. So let's see what we can make out of this. So there is something that's really distracting. It's this little dot. It always keeps my eye bouncing, and it just wants to know, what is this? What is this? But I just delete it. Yeah, no one would notice. That's better. Much better. Yeah. Nice. So I'm turning down the exposure for a little bit. So you created a frame and you loaded a pattern inside the frame, or do I understand this correctly? Okay. Let me think about this real quick. It's been a while. I need Illustrator for that. I can't get it, or I can't get the information out of my head on the fly. If you click with your right mouse button on your pattern, I think there should be somewhere an option to lock this. But sorry, I'm not sure. It's been 4 years, and from there on I never started Illustrator again. I'm so sorry, man. But I have no idea how this stuff worked at all. Most of the time I worked with InDesign, and Illustrator I did, I don't know, it was 20% Illustrator, and yeah, the rest of it was Photoshop and InDesign. But Illustrator wasn't too much. Mostly for some big projects, for some for some festival stuff with some big prints or anything. But most of the time InDesign for some smaller prints. So I'm not too experienced in Illustrator. I can do some smaller things with creating shapes with splines and so on, but that's mostly it. So, and I haven't learned graphics designer, so this was just luck for me to get this job. And I mean, I did it for maybe a year or something, but the subject was just not okay, so it was kind of boring for me. So most of the time I did some flyers or some little, what's the word for that? Give me a second. What is the word for that? Yeah, of course, some catalogs. And that's most of the things that I made. And of course some photography of product shots that I edited and imported to it, but Illustrator, I had a rough time with it, to be honest, because this frame thing, as you told me now, it's kinda weird working with that. I always moved things around and stuff went from the left to the right, and I was, what the fuck is going on? So what I did, I just came home from my first few work days and I looked up on YouTube and learned it, but after 4 years now and not doing it regularly, I forgot it. So because I don't need it. But you can find many good stuff on YouTube for this, and I hope you will find something. But there should be an option to lock your patterns to your frame. It should. If not, they forgot about it. And no one ever noticed that you were the first person. So I really like this edit, to be honest. So what I'm trying to do with this shot now is, because the bottom area is a little bit too bright for me and it wouldn't work with a gradient filter, what am I doing? I should definitely use a radial filter. Draw it somewhere outside. Maybe here. And just to get a slight of a darkening area here, so let's check this. Yeah, this works. Okay, let's say minus 33. We already have the subject here. I'm gonna duplicate this one and I will brighten the subject a little bit up, but I think only in highlights. Let's see what I can get off this. Okay. Okay. No, the umbrella is too bright if I do that. But what I can do is, I don't care now, I bring this up. Let's see on the shadows, bringing down the shadows a little bit and I brush out the umbrella. So, Tyler. I need a coffee, guys. I need a coffee. Just give me a second.
With this feeling I can leave. I'm working and I'm dreaming. Will you dare to give it over and walk by my side? Do you see the road? Do you hear it's cold? Do you want a part of it? Just getting me apart now. Just getting me sun goes down, driving lights in hearts, counting trees around. This is how our day to dream. My heart it's cursed with you. My heart is cursed with you. Do you see the road? Just can it fall? Do you see the road? Just
So back again, and now let's start this off. So this image isn't too bad, but the details in this jacket could be much better, and I think I can get this a little bit more out of it with clarity. So no, not this one, sorry. So I'm painting it in with a brush. Mostly I'm not using too much of clarity, but in this case I will try it. So bring up my flow to 100. Also my feather to 100. Yeah, that's quite nice. It gives me some more highlights, and it adds a little bit more of dynamic to this jacket. Yeah, I liked it. But what I don't like is the brightness of the umbrella. It's still too much. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, I bring the umbrella down. Let's see, I've got this radial filter here. Okay, yeah. So I brush this one out first. I don't want it highlights in the umbrella, okay. Next, what I'm gonna do, I create a new layer of a radial filter. So now my clarity is on, turn it off. I bring down the exposure just a little bit, okay? And now, painting it out there, a little bit on the outside. And it still looks kind of flat, so what I'm gonna do now, I wanna brighten up this area, so it should look like she's going towards the light. So not like she's dying, but just walking into the light. So let's try this out. First of all, turning off my clarity. I will bring this up very high. Of course, I know we got it again, the problem with the umbrella, but I can fix this. So what this filter does, it also highlights up the door. Because if I turn it off again, this area here has some details I wanna have in the image. It's just a nice texture, so let's bring this up again. Maybe to about 1. Okay. Make this a little bit brighter. Okay. Now let's see what we can do with this shot. Okay. I would say I bring down the flow on my eraser tool, and then I paint it out. So by pressing Alt, I paint out the brightness in my jacket, also here. I zoom in a little bit. Okay. And now I paint it out on the umbrella because it's just too much. It's not bad, but it's slightly too much. So okay, and now I paint it in again, but with a way less flow, maybe 20, and I'm simply working here on this area. And the more you paint on the same area, the brighter it gets. So now back and forth process now. And I'm decreasing the brightness around here. Okay, this is not too bad. Okay. What is running here? I don't know. So that's the before, that's the after. What if I put in a little bit more of the orange? Yeah, definitely on the cooler side. Because it makes the subject pop a little bit more. But overall, I'm quite happy with this shot. Maybe... no, this works kind of good. Trying to bring in a little bit more contrast into the subject because it looks kinda flat. That's too much. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Yeah. I like this one. That's on a minus 2, but the umbrella is still... no, it's not working. It doesn't work. I will paint this out again. No, I painted in, sorry. that's better. Getting around the borders. Okay. And now I paint in some gradient by using a flow on a very low number. Okay. Yeah, now I'm happy with that. I mean, the white is still... It's still a little bit too white, to be honest, but I'll leave it by that. I'm okay with that, so... I liked it before and after. Could be worse. I take that. So, this shot is done, and I would say I'm going to export it right now. Wait, my webcam is off. Sorry, guys. Forgot it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I like this. That's good. Okay, make it like that, then probably I can fix this. This would be an easy one, but this one I'm not sure if I can pull this off here in Lightroom. If not, I have to use Photoshop. So let's try this. That's good, I think. Yeah, that's working. But this here, this little piece here, I'm not sure. So let's try this one. Will work. Or not. Heal tool doesn't work either. I mean, it's okay, but I think I got it. It's working, nice. So first of all, after fixing some things here and there are some things that are not working yet. Okay, 5020, not lower. Bringing out a little bit of contrast, and I'm going straight down to the colors because, yeah, the face isn't the best. So, 1, 2, 3. Let's make the orange pop. The reds. I want to bring down the red and also the red. Saturation. That's better. Yeah, this works quite good together. So I could use a little bit of blue, but no, it's distracting. So I turn this down again to -75. So the orange. Yeah, bring this a little bit up. Not too much, but just a little bit. Greens. Taking them out just a little bit. This also gives some sort of a shiny effect. I like that. Now the face is way too dark in this one. And also the shadows in the face. By bringing up the shadows, I can fix the face quite good. Okay, I need to figure out why I'm getting this halo around my subject behind. How does it look in the original? Okay, this must have to do something with my whites maybe. Nope, it's not the whites, it can't be the clarity. So probably it's not too much, so I think I'll leave it, but maybe by pulling up the blacks just a little bit, yeah. But not too much, because this would change the style of the image. I don't want that. Wait, do I have clarity on the face? I do. Better. That's not too bad. Maybe taking down the overall exposure of the image and bringing it back again with a radial filter from top. That's something I really like to do most of my shots, to make them a little bit more dynamic. In my opinion, it makes a shot a little bit more dynamic than just playing around with the basic settings. Okay, I like this. Okay. Okay, taking out the clarity, because if I take it on 15, I get a weird halo around here. I don't want that. But overall, it's a nice one. I like this one. But I'm not happy with the face. I'm not happy with the face. Something doesn't work here, so... And in my opinion, it's the shadows itself, or the darker areas. I try to paint this a little bit more in to get some of the details back. Taking out some contrast of the face. Yeah, this makes it better. Maybe also around the hat. This doesn't work too bad. Painting it out, make it a little bit more soft to get that transition. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. Oh, okay. I'm okay with this shot. No, I'm not. The eyes. It's always about the eyes. Yeah. looks much better. This looks much better because before the eyes were too dark, and if you always look on a person, the first thing you look at, or are you looking or trying to look at, are the eyes, and if they are too dark, a shot like this won't work. I mean, it works, but it isn't good. So if we come back here, okay, it wasn't that. Yeah. So the eyes were a little bit too dark. I brightened them up just a little bit in the shadows, added a tiny bit of exposure and highlights, and it makes it much better. Perfect. Like that. I'm already getting my shots for the next week. That's good. I really have almost no time to do editing at the moment, so I hadn't time the last week or between the last stream and this stream, and now I feel a little bit mad about it because I wanna edit but I don't have time, or if I have time I'm too tired to do it. So now in the stream it works kinda good, but I also wanna do it when I'm not streaming to have time for myself and just chilling. Maybe on weekend. I already have. I uploaded this shot a few days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. So I'm not doing this one now because I will save this one for later. Also edited this one, and those are really quick edits I do. So throwing on the preset I've made, adding some radial filters, playing a little bit around with my HSL sliders, and that's it. So I took this shot because I liked the texture and the umbrella, but she never turned around. That's the problem. But I think it still looks nice. Or not too bad, because the texture in the umbrella over here and on her jacket is so good. I love that. But we're not editing this shot now. Ooh, maybe this one? This one looks kinda good. So this was the shot where I worked on my preset for, let's see, preset number Street Fresh. So if you take a look at my Instagram, you can see this shot. I created this preset mostly on this shot. Of course it was a back and forth process, comparing to other shots with kind of the same conditions, and that's the preset I came up with. Very contrasty, very bright and dark. But that's the style I wanna go with for the next months, I guess. So this is preparing for winter. Because we have fall now, we have a little bit more of poppy colors and saturated colors with all these yellow or orange jackets and anything of this kind of fall style things. It will be more desaturated, I guess, in winter, but let's see where the road will take me. Okay. Also like this one. But I like it more that way. Yeah, let's edit this shot. first of all. Again, cropping. I always do it first. So cropping the image, looking around the borders of the image to find some distracting things. That's kinda distracting up there, but yeah, it looks better if I pull it down that way. But it isn't too bad that way, okay. No, let's take it like somewhere around here. Slightly down, okay. How about the blues in this image? Oh ho ho, they're crazy. Bring them down to a minus 70. Yeah, bring them up a little bit more. In luminance. There isn't too much aqua inside the image, so aqua is mostly reflection in a glass or something. I think I'm not changing too much of the coloring, but what I'm gonna change, I wanna make this shot a way darker. Maybe do a minus 72. Okay, normally it would be that, yeah. Bring in this radial filter, also again zooming out. Get a little bit of a better sense of what's going on in the image. Bring out the greens. Don't want any green inside this shot. Isn't too much of a yellow. Shouldn't be too much of an orange. That's a very one-sided shot, so it's mostly blue. Just this tiny. Maybe we can switch to red a little bit more. Yeah. Good. Something like this. Okay. Yeah, I like the shot. I leave it by that. No more editing on this one because there isn't too much to do. Maybe on the subject itself. Brightening up a little bit the shadows to make it stand out a little bit more. Also brushing out the surroundings. Yeah. That's okay. I call it done. Okay, that's good. Not too bad. Sadly, she wasn't looking at me. She always looked away from me. Let's stick to this one. I love the colors from this preset. Not lying. It's just sick. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, bringing down the reds. Just the yellow, just a plus 15. So I got a little bit of orange here, yeah. Brighten this up. Bring down the yellow. Oh, sorry. I got more yellow in it, right? Yeah. So bring the orange down. I think it looks more dynamic with this. Got a little bit more details in here. That's okay. What I'm gonna do now, darken the surroundings. Duplicate that. It's like adding a vignette. It's just that. Bring that up a little bit. I also darken the image from this side. And then I add a radial filter. Just to hit the subject. Okay. No exposure here. Maybe also a drop in shadows a bit, and maybe the highlights just a little bit. So let's say 10. I think I didn't crop the image. Yeah, I forgot. It's not straight. Is it? No. No, it's straight. Yeah. Crazy sounds going on here. Yeah, I like that. So some things are burning out. Let's see where. Okay, I can't see it at all. I don't care. No, don't like the shot. I mean, no, let's edit this one because I'm so proud of this shot. It's not in focus, I fucked it up, but I like it because it's something you don't see too often, I think. But I'm focusing manually, so... Oh! Hello, Mr. Scratch. What's going on? I hope you are a mister, if not Mrs. Okay, wait. Still, yeah, YouTube. Come on. How was your day? So, let's see. Maybe... Yeah, I frame it very low. I will put in some sharpness later on the face. Ah, you're a mister. Okay. I hope you had a great day so far. Well, what have you done today? Let's ask that way. So let me see what kind of... No, I don't take a faded look, I take this one for this shot. needs a little bit of editing in the skin, for sure, but I don't care too much about it. Yeah, I frame it that way. That's fine. Ah, Netflix, yeah, that's a good choice in this quarantine times. That's probably also on my day 50, okay, yeah, 60% of the day it's Netflix. Or editing shots, or taking some shots, but mostly it's Netflix currently. So what are you watching on Netflix? Or any favorite? I finished what was it called? Yeah, sleeping. Sleeping is the best. No interruptions. No bad things that's going to happen. Oh, Blacklist. I watched Blacklist, I think, the first 2 seasons a few years ago, and somehow I stopped. I'm not sure why. I think I moved over to The 100. I also watched maybe 3 seasons from The 100, and I heard this show is already finished now, so I have to rewatch Blacklist and The 100. But Blacklist is a really good show, but I felt it went kinda boring after some time, because he's always, yeah, I'm putting myself out and you fuck all the people I hate. And they are doing this for him. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I only watched maybe 2 seasons. Maybe this whole thing will change later on. But don't spoil me, please. So I watched, I think it was called Ratchet, I think. That's a really nice show. I can recommend it to you. I think it's new on Netflix. The first season is out, and I enjoyed it a lot. So if you're in some psycho stuff, watch it. So, I'm gonna darken this one here. Okay. A bit too much, and I also take out some of the greens, because I don't want them. Them out, making them a little bit, yeah. The yellow. Yeah, bring out the yellow. And adding a radial filter to my subject. But in my opinion... Ah, you're already gone. Not bad. But thanks for stopping by. Yeah, brightening this thing a little bit up, and also brightening up his eyes. Wait, what I'm doing? The brush. It's getting better. All right. It's working. I'm fine with that. It's getting good. I like that. What I'm doing now is... Wait, that's not good. This line here. Let's take it this way. Yeah. What I need now is maybe some slight darkening around this area. Just to bring in some dynamic range. Sorry for that. Okay. I really like this shot, to be honest. Still not sure what's going on there, because I put out the greens. I haven't painted anything there. Or did I? No, I didn't. So let's... Oh, what? What happened? Is it stormy in your region, or is there any thunderstorm or something? It's not my native language either, so it's also... Yeah, it's my second language, so I speak German and English, so... But English isn't the best. Oh, nice! How is the situation there? With all this corona stuff and everything. I mean, it's kinda annoying after a half year still dealing with this shit, but I never heard anything about in your country with the corona situation, so how's it going over there? Is it bad, or... Because I'm from Austria and... Okay. That sounds good. Here in Austria, today we had 1,000 infections. A little bit more. I guess it was 1,020 in 24 hours. So it's getting worse here. And I think in France and Germany, Czech Republic, everywhere, so I'm from Europe, numbers are rising constantly, day by day. Okay, that's not a lot, and that's good. But here lately, numbers are growing and growing per day, mostly. A few months ago we had below 100, in 24 hours, and now we are, yeah, above 1,000 in 24 hours. So I'm already waiting for a lockdown where you can't go out and anything else. So yeah, I am. So let's see what this will do in the next months, but it sucks, to be honest. It simply sucks. It's just day by day, every time the same news, everything. It's just repeating. And this for about a half year. I mean, of course we should take it seriously, but yeah, street photography in lockdown, that's, I mean, I do street photography since this year in May. So this was during the lockdown here in Austria. So we had a lockdown, and before I did about 8 years landscape, and I switched. So I switched in lockdown because I was kind of bored of the 8 years doing landscape, and I was, hey, let's do something new, and I went straight to the city. The first days were kind of weird, shooting in the city, because I just felt uncomfortable. Thank you very much. Yeah, but just, so you are doing street photography too? What's your Instagram? Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of camera you're using. Yeah. Many people are shooting on a phone. I don't, but I have a camera that is from 2013. So it's still an old camera. It's an APS-C camera from Sony, and my one is also APS-C camera, and I also shoot in manual mode. I never use auto, so no autofocus. Because if you autofocus, you can't, how should I say it? You're not connecting with the scene. But shooting with a phone is absolutely okay, and you can do so much with a phone today. And you don't need a big camera or anything. So the camera doesn't make you a better photographer, because a camera is just a tool, and you are working with the tool, and you create the image with what you see through your camera, and that's what makes the most out of everything. So if you try to frame something differently or try new perspectives, you can do this all with your phone. You don't need anything. So just keep doing it and have fun with it. Don't care about too much cameras or gear or whatever. You don't need it. And I know a few people, they're just shooting with their phone and they have so much fun with it. They don't need a camera, and to be honest, phones nowadays have a really good camera. I mean, this phone was a Huawei, or is a Huawei P30. It has an average camera, but I can take good shots, and nobody can say on Instagram if a shot was taken on a camera, on a phone camera, or on a full frame camera. Of course, you see it maybe in depth of field and maybe some quality, but if you do some editing, no one can tell if a shot was taken with a Canon, with a Sony, with a Fuji, with a Nikon. No one can say that. And so it doesn't matter with what you shoot, just have fun with it. And that's the most important thing. Never stop shooting and just have fun. Because that's all that what makes you happy about it. And if you start thinking about gear and anything, that's kind of depressing. And 48 megapixels, that's a lot. I'm shooting with a DSLT camera from Sony, as I mentioned before, from 2013, and this camera has 16 megapixels, so that's, you know what I'm talking about? It isn't about the camera, it's just about yourself and how you see things and how you take the shots. Yeah, absolutely. Just do it for yourself, have fun, and don't worry too much about the social media things. And is my shot good and why I don't get enough likes or anything. Just do it. If you want to upload something, upload it. If not, it's your life, and just do what you want. And that's the best way to be happy, and that's the most important thing. Everything else is kinda luxury, in my opinion. So I'm also doing it now for a little bit more than 8 years. I was kinda on and off in photography, but I did almost 8 years of landscape and I never tried something else. I always put myself in a niche where I said I'm a landscape photographer, and after 8 years I realized how unhappy I was. Or I was more and more unhappy over the years. So I was like, okay, I won't stop photography, but I lost the fun about it, so I have to change something. And that's why I went to street and I enjoy it so much. It was the best decision I made. So if you kind of feel stuck in something, just try something else, a different style. And that's the best thing you can do. Well, as I mentioned before, I do street photography for, since May, so now 5 months. It depends on what you want to shoot. So if you look at my shots, I'm much more shooting on a distance, because I have a long lens on my camera. I bought back a few years ago, still using it. So I'm not getting too personal with people. But if you wanna be in the action and involve people and interact with them, you shoot on a wider lens. So it depends on your style. So if you wanna take shots like very close-up shots where you're standing right next to a person that just shoots the moment that happened, maybe that's something for you, and you can do this very easily with a phone, because no one would notice that if you're holding your phone like that and doing something and just take the shot. I mean, that's a simple way. With a camera you hold up there, I don't do it because I tried it a few times, but mostly people get upset. People don't like it, and if someone would does that to me, I wouldn't like that either. It's kinda rude, getting in someone's face and click, taking the shot. So a tip for photography in streets is, first of all, find your style. Try different things. I would say I found my style in just going there and trying out different things. And if you take a look at my Instagram, the first shots were just without any framing, not taking subjects into my frame, always isolating people. And then I found out, hey, I'm more the person who is chilling somewhere and framing maybe through something, or put something in the frame that creates some sort of depth into the image. And that's the style I do. I mean, that's the first thing you should find out for yourself. Just find a style, maybe try something out. Shutter speed. Never tried it on a phone. Do you have the opportunity to switch to a wide angle lens on your phone? Because if you have this option, the wider your angle is, the easier it gets with a lower shutter speed. the tighter your lens is, the more shaky it gets, and the harder it is with a lower shutter speed. So if you want to do a long shutter, try to use a wide angle lens. Yeah, that's good. So if you can switch, maybe what phone do you have? Because I think so. If you have a phone where you can use Pro mode, and I think you can, use a wide angle lens and just lower your shutter and then track a subject, maybe a person on a bike who is driving from left to right. So a person in a city on a bike would probably ride on, yeah, something, I would say 20 kilometers per hour, 15, depends on the street or where he's driving. Lower your shutter speed to his actual speed what he's driving. Just try it a few times and then follow your subject by pressing the shutter, and you get some... What? Ah, okay. So I think this phone can do this. I heard about this brand and I think they have a good camera. So all the tests I've seen so far, the camera isn't too bad. So I think this should work. So just lower your shutter speed to 1/30 of a second or 1/20 of a second, and try this out. Look for a subject, maybe a car, maybe, I don't know, yeah, a bike, someone on a scooter or something. Center your subject, follow along like he's driving through, and release the shutter. And if your speed matches with the guy on the bike, the car or anything, the car is in focus, but everything else is just blurred out and creates some straight lines the way the camera you move. That's right, yeah, that's a very hard method. So, or what I can recommend to you is you can buy some very cheap and very cheap small phone tripods. If you have any areas where are a lot of people, just find a place where you have a little bit of an overlook of everyone. Look for your subject and place your camera. Take a low shutter speed, maybe of a second or even more, and focus on the subject that doesn't move. Maybe someone who's standing in between of many people are walking around him, and the one person that is standing still should be your focus. And if you take the shot, everything around, you get some really nice movements of the people, but the one person is sharp. I haven't tried it yet on my own because I haven't found a place where I can do this, but that's a really nice technique, and I should try this, but mostly I don't have my tripod with me. If I shoot in the city, I forget it. I forget the tripod every time. What's another good tip? Okay, you have the long exposure thing. What also is good, I'm not sure, how is it about in your region with rain? Is it raining a lot, or? Because here in Austria I'm getting sick because it's almost not raining the last days and weeks and months. Because if you get a rainy day, look for a puddle, and okay, so if it's rainy, look for a puddle on the ground, take the shot very low to get the reflection of the puddle, and oh, nice. Yeah, we had some rain today, but after work it was sunny, so I didn't went for a shoot. If you take a shot of a puddle, let me quickly show you this here. One moment, please. Just looking for an image. So, but I haven't done this on my own, so I'm quickly using Google. Yeah, something like this. Something like this. So, if you take a look at this shot, just take a very low angle on the reflection and just cut it over there to get the main focus on the reflection, and then after you have taken the shot, just flip your image 180 degrees. So the reality is upside down and the reflection is like a normal shot, and this creates a really nice effect. So maybe if you have some rain someday, try this out. It's a very nice technique and always looks good. I really like this. So I haven't tried it yet because mostly I was unlucky, but it's definitely worth a try. So let's see. I think this shot I leave it by that. It's probably loud. Okay. No worries, my friend. Have you seen my example for the reflection shot? Because if not, I still have it here. Wait, I'll show it to you again. So that's what I was talking about. So if it's rainy in your region, look for a puddle or a very wet area and take the shot very low, with a very low angle, and look for your subject. So if you have taken the shot, just turn your image later on 180 degrees and you end up with something like this. And this creates a really nice illusion, so another great tip to try out. Never did it on my own, but that's because I'm shooting mostly with a very long lens, so a 70 to 200mm lens. And it's almost impossible to create a shot with this, because I have to stand very far away. It is possible, but it's kinda hard. So, never tried that, but I will. Maybe this weekend or the next days. And I prefer shooting in rainy situations, because colors getting so much more saturated, and it's not something you can get in a sunny day. So mostly I shoot on overcast days or on rainy days. But this year we didn't had really much rain, so it was kind of boring. Or golden hour at evening. So I would say taking shots at 1 or 2 hours before the sun goes down, it's always the perfect time. You get the best lighting you can get. Shots look way more dynamic. The shadows are not too hard, the sunlight is not too bright, and you get a really nice dynamic range of your shot with not blown out highlights or burned out shadows. Always keep that in mind. So if you're doing photography, use the time, so 1 or 2 hours before the sun goes down, because that's the time, or the best time, to get good shots. Of course you can take some shots during the day. I would say blue sky, it's 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. so lunchtime, but you get very hard shadows. They're very dark, and for a camera it is very hard to work with that. So if you're exposed for the highlights, your shadows are really dark, but you can use this for your advantage and create shots like Sean Tucker, if you know him. So he's a really good photographer, and I like him a lot, so I'm also watching his stuff on YouTube, and he's doing amazing stuff with light. So mostly he's doing black and white photography, but he is just some nice skills. I mean, just by taking a look at this shot, Hey, welcome back again. Yeah, I know that had kinda the same issues yesterday, so today it's working fine, but sometimes it's kinda wacky. Okay. So, if you wanna see more live streams, I'm doing this every Wednesday for now. So, last Wednesday was the first live stream. This Wednesday, so today, it's the second one. So I will do this more and more, and I will also do some street photography videos with my GoPro or DJI. I'm not sure, but I think I will get the Osmo Action. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I like it too. It's kinda simple. It's not too much going on around the subject, and I always put something in the frame if I think it gets too distracting. And here were a bunch of people, so this would be a kind of a distraction to the subject I have taken. So this helped me to isolate my subject a little bit. And I think it worked out, so yeah, right, to fill the negative space. Absolutely. Or just like with this shot. So I mean, there wasn't going on too much, but I wanted to isolate him way more. Because there were some signs around here, and just shot through, I think it was a bike or something. And with a 70 to 200 lens, you get simply these soft, dark areas with not too much detail in it, just to keep the focus on the subject. That's what I'm trying most of the time, because street photography can be really distracting sometimes. Like with this shot, there is so much going on. I mean, putting a preset on it, I mean, no, it doesn't work because there is so much in the foreground. I gave it 4 stars, I don't know why, but it doesn't work in this situation. So, but I took the shot because why not? And that's a nice tip. If you think about something and look at it and think, no, this shot doesn't work, don't care about, take the shot. It happened to me many times where I took the shot and I thought when I was there, this shot is shit and crap and it doesn't work, and when I was back home and had a look on my computer, I noticed, hey, this shot is pretty good. And it was better than a few others, so always take shots of things or situations where you think it doesn't look good. Just take the shot. Sometimes you will be impressed later on. All these presets are made by myself. I already had a few more, but there was an update in Lightroom and I lost a lot of them. I haven't saved them on my external hard drive, so a few are gone, but I created this preset pack. It's also available for download on my Instagram. I created this, I think I created this one on, yeah, right when I started street photography. So I took the first shots and I was like, I need presets because landscape doesn't work for that, because landscape is mostly green, blue, and street shots are much more variety in colors, so I had to do them all by my own again, and I just worked on them for a few weeks. It's a back and forth process, just having fun editing shots, and if I think I need a new preset, I make it by my own because it's fun to do. So here I have a black and white one, so only one because I'm not doing too much of black and white photography. It fits very well for street, but I wanna do it more in colors, I would say. And for this preset, this was created for mostly shots in summer, on daylight, and mostly for sunny days, not rainy days, but mostly sunny days. And so they have different themes. So some of them more on the bluer side to make the images a little bit colder, and some of them a little bit warmer, or like this one that's kinda a sepia look I made. I really like it, but I think I haven't used it once. But I made it because I thought, hey, maybe someday, why not? Let's see, what is a preset? This one I used quite often. It's just warming up the image very hard. Yeah, I stopped completely, so I'm not doing it anymore. Maybe if I'm traveling, of course I will take a shot from landscape stuff, but I stopped almost completely. So I haven't taken a landscape shot in the last half year. So since I switched to street photography, I haven't taken one landscape shot. Because I did it for so long, I don't want to go back. And I enjoy street photography much more because in street photography is always something, so there's always something going on. In landscape you are waiting for the perfect moment. You need the right conditions. So not a blue sky. It shouldn't be maybe too windy, or depends on what kind of shot you're going for or you're looking for. And I was traveling many times to some places where I had to drive with my car for 3 hours, 4 hours, somewhere to the mountains. And I checked the weather forecast. It was there rain, overcast, the conditions I liked the most. When I was getting there, it was a blue sky, sunshine, and this was kind of frustrating. Of course I took the shots, but I wasn't happy with the shots because I prepared everything. I looked for the weather, I checked everything, prepared my gear, everything, driving there, paying for gas, getting all the stuff you need, and then you're there and it's not that what you want. Oh, I'm working for an energy company, so for electricity. So if you need some electricity, if your electricity went down again, just call me. I'm not sure if I can do anything for you, but maybe. And what you are doing for a living? So I'm doing this job now for about 2 years. Before I was a graphic designer, but it wasn't fulfilling me. So I didn't enjoy it, the graphic designer thing. It's very stressful. It's a lot of work, and I mean, a lot of work is good, but too much work is just shit because you're burning out in your head, and this is what happened to me back then. Oh, you're studying. What are you studying? I mean, I miss studying somehow, because the last time for me it was back 10 years ago. Man. I can do some math, so 1 plus 1, this works, but everything above, getting hard, bro. Nah, 2 plus 2, still a thing, is 3, as we know. So for how long are you in photography? Or because you said you're a beginner, this year or just a few months? So, that's the last shot I'm gonna edit today. I need to go to bed very soon because I have to work tomorrow. Have to wake up in already, yeah, a little bit more than 6 hours, so getting a little bit tired now. But this is the last shot I'm gonna do. Still using my preset for my current mood for my Instagram. Just looking I like that a little bit more. Let's see what I can pull off out of this shot. Yeah, it stopped quite often today, right? But that's the worst problems we can have if the internet stops working. Sucks every time. Or for me it feels like I can't do anything. Somehow I'm kinda addicted to it, I don't know. Or I need it because I'm doing a lot of stuff in the internet, but yeah. A day without internet is just shit. Wouldn't call it a day. Not quite sure about this crop, but let's try this. So what are you studying? Yeah, that's working fine. So I'm taking out this one because this little piece up here is distracting and it doesn't work with my subject. My eyes always bouncing up there. Like, hey, what's there? Hey, hey. And that's because I stamp it out. Don't need it. Okay, that's a bad stamp. What's going on there? Is it on heal? No. I think this works better. Yeah. So I put the preset on and now I stamped this little piece here out so nobody would notice at all. What I don't like is this hard dark line here. That's again kind of distracting, so two options now: cropping or balance it out with the wall over here. I think I'm going to drop this a little bit, but I also paint out this slightly. Let's see. I have to be very careful about that. Okay, this kind of works. Because I don't want to crop the image anymore. But it doesn't work too good. So let's see over here. So let's try this out. Maybe with shadows, putting down the highlights a little bit. Maybe the whites. Yeah, but this will work. Quite sure. Okay, let's get out of the brush. That way. That's better. Yeah, I can live with that. Just a tiny crop, because I don't want to lose the proportions. Yeah, that's fine. Turn it slightly. That's good. So, next thing. So we are way too bright on this shot. So I take this down, I bring up my shadows and I bring down my whites just a little bit. And I maybe bring up, no, I don't touch the blacks, but I touch this curve over here on the lower end. And then I will bring in a radial filter right outside here, just to lower the brightness of this area, because it's way too much and it's distracting. So I don't want that. That's already better. Bring it down. Yeah. I'm also taking out a little bit of contrast of the image because it's too much. 25, okay. Then I bring in another radial filter to lighten up my scene. And now, shit is getting good. Yeah, I kinda like that. A very quick and easy edit. No, taking a brush because I wanna get out some highlights of this jacket over here, so I'm bringing up the clarity quite a bit just to get some more highlights. Should work fine. Yeah. It's maybe a little bit too much. Let's say 25 should be a good number. And I'm fine with that. Okay. So one more thing to do. I'm bringing in here a little bit of a radial filter, adding up some shadows to brighten up her legs a little bit because they feel too dark. Okay, got a little bit of details in there, that's okay. And I would say let's call this a day. Yeah. That's dope. I like that. Okay. That's it. We are done. We are done. No, we are not. This bag needs some love. Definitely needs some love. Yeah. Yeah, bringing down the contrast a little bit, and again a little bit more highlights in, and I would say that's a really nice shot. I like this one. Maybe we can add here a little bit more of interest, because we have this nice light over here, and nah. But just to brighten it up a little bit, I'm gonna paint it out over there because it makes no sense. Okay. That's it. That's it for the shot and for today's live stream, guys. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. 3 hours. That's a lot. Wasn't too much of talking today because I'm a little bit tired, but it will be better next week. And thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. And I would say hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and see you the next week, guys. Always on Wednesday. So stay tuned and goodbye. Thanks.